Hi guys. Okay, hopefully this is my last time trying to do this video. I'm getting all kind of interruptions, but the devil is a lie. So, um, this video I am making because there's a lot going on right now with the internet and women and black men and the hate and all of that we know that we don't have to get into. We don't have to name not one name because we already know. Okay. Um, this video is something that was revealed to me maybe about 3 weeks to a month ago, because I see what you see. I um, don't necessarily watch these people, and there are more than one. There are groups of them. I don't necessarily watch them, but um, some of the people that I do watch speak on them and things like that, and that's how I know. That's how I hear and things like that. And so, um, we've all heard and seen, and I want to make this quick video, get straight to the point, and let you all know what the Spirit gave me, if it resonates in your spirit. And if it does not, keep it moving. It's, maybe it will one day, maybe, but what has come to me keeps proving itself in the physical. It keeps proving itself, what was told to me. So I know it's true. And I am at that growth period and point in my life where I know how to trust my spirit. I don't question anymore. I don't second guess anymore. It is what it is. I know it is what it is, and it later reveals itself that it was absolutely true. Um, these men who hate, these men who hurt, these men who have these dreams and fantasies of violence against black women, and a lot of these men who are hurting and killing black women, and black women are getting into these relationships and things with these toxic, hateful men who are on a whole different frequency, whole different level, coming from a whole different realm than what we are. I listened to a guy, this was yesterday. Well, it was the day before yesterday. I listened to this guy. And this guy was full of hurt and pain. I mean, that's not how he came out. He came out very violent, very angry, very demonic. Um, and he was speaking to a woman, and he was speaking to this woman, starting off like they all do, trying to be all nice and calm, very, very passive aggressive, very, very, you can see the anger and everything that they're trying to squelch. Talking to women and, belittling women's success, belittling women, period. Um, and just angry and wanting to hurt them and wanting to humiliate them and the whole thing. And so, this woman kind of had an unbothered type attitude. She was successful, had things that he didn't. And of course, he downgraded it, belittled it, said it wasn't nothing, and all this. He threatened her about not being protected, not being, no one's going to protect you when that day comes, and they actually speak just like the Hebrew Israelites, who have these fantasies of rape and murder and hurt of black women, especially. Um, and they all have these same speaking points. They all do. If you listen to them, they all do. The ones who follow this type logic. Um, and so what we have and why we see so many of these men who, we call them little boys, because we recognize that spirit. We recognize the spirit of a hurt little boy. And it's true, and it is exactly what it is. And the truth of the matter, this man spoke so recklessly and violently about hurting and killing women and children, until, it bothered me really bad. But as I sometimes I have to sit back and get back and meditate and think about and let things marinate and listen to the spirit, and I get the answers why. The answer why. The reason why these men are out here hurting, angry, wanting to hurt, killing, violating women. What the Spirit gave me is that these are men, so many of these little boys, when they were little boys, were molested. They were violated, some more extreme than others. Some of it was just touching. Some of it was the whole complete act. Some of it were these little boys being violated all the way up to many years. And they hate it. They hate that they are like that. They hate that they have these feelings and these tendencies. They hate that, and they hate the fact that they want to be with women but have these tendencies toward men. And it's because of what happened to them when they were young, when they were little boys. And the reason for the hate, now this is what I'm telling you, this is what the Spirit gave to me. This ain't just me rattling this stuff off. The reason that they hate women so much is because their mothers didn't protect them, or their mothers let it go on, or their mothers knew about it, or they feel completely unheard, unprotected. Maybe she told them, like a lot of these women who are so desperate to have men and men in their lives, maybe she told them like they tell the little girls, "Oh girl, go and get out of my face. Ain't nobody did nothing to you. Ain't nobody said nothing to you, whatever." And they don't believe them, and they don't believe the little girls. And then you have little girls growing up to hate their mothers and hate other women. A lot of them turn gay or whatever. That is not always the case with people who are gay. It's not always the case. But I'm telling you what came to me a few weeks ago and really cleared up so much of this. If you look, you will see that most of these men, they have very feminine traits. They are very emotional. They will argue and carry on with you just back and forth like a woman. Real men really don't do that. First of all, they don't have time. Second of all, they just really ain't got time for that. Men are out doing other things. There are still men out here doing other things, taking care of their families, taking care of their children. They want the narrative to be that this is all black men and this is all black women. It's not. It's not. But it's just so much, and they have such a loud voice. And it's what they want you to see. It's what those in charge want you to see. They all have an agenda. Some of them are making money. Well, it's all about money, but it's different agendas for different reasons. But as I said, these were women who were reckless with their children. These are women who were maybe on drugs. These were women, because we're talking about the crack era. We're talking about the 80s, 90s, things like this. And these are the majority of where these men are. Some of these men listen to that stuff not necessarily because that happened to them, but because they just mad at women. You know, they couldn't get some women that they wanted, the kind of women that they wanted. They couldn't get them. They always felt less than, lower than, or whatever. And these women humiliated them. Maybe they laughed at them. Maybe them and their girlfriends laughed at them and stuff. And they grow up with these complexes. They grow up with the feeling of, well, yeah, now I'm this and that, and I can, and the only thing that they have is their brute strength and their ignorance and their hate. And this is what is being spewed out on women. This is what this is how they are relating to the psychological trauma. This is how they are relating to and letting out their anger. Is in all these ways, talking about it, saying these things, making threats, coming after women. Any man that's talking about beating a woman, hurting a woman and children is not a man. I mean, look at it realistically. Realistically, the man's job, the man's role, and every other man out here in society knows you protect the women and children. These men are out here talking about when they can attack them and when they can hurt them and when they're going to have the opportunity when the white man is out of the way to do this and to do that. First of all, they are following delusion. They are delusional. They are following satanic, demonic behavior. That's what they're following. And Satan is a liar. And he wants to be like God. The black woman is hated for a reason. That she really, really is. These men are so jealous. These men are so angry that they can't compete. They are so hurt and bitter and all of this kind of stuff with women, at the system, at whoever else, and they can't strike out at anyone else. They're not going to strike out at other men. And so it's directed at women. It's directed in the community where they can, we women carry so much energy. We carry so much power. We carry so much ability to stop all of this. We need to know these things. We need to understand these things, but we also need to protect ourselves. And I mean protect ourselves spiritually, protect ourselves emotionally by getting our own therapy, by getting our own, doing whatever it is that we need to protect ourselves and doing what it takes, even if we got to go back and repent. And use that word as you want to, but what I'm talking about is making amends with your past. If you were one of those mothers, if you were one of those aunties, sisters, or whatever, who a child was your son, of this boy family member was being hurt, abused, and uncle such and such was doing things to him and touching him and things like that, you can't go back right now, but you can make amends as best you can. You can acknowledge it, and you can know it, and you can realize this is what is going on out here. This is why the hate. This is why the brutality. And some of these folks is just ignorant and just out here running amok and just being asses, just honestly. But I'm going to close. I'm not going to, just keep on with this, but it keeps proving itself. The ringleader of this mess, and the reason why they listen to him, they see that homosexual spirit in him. There are flaming homosexual men who are out and open in who they are and walking in who they are, however they got that way, they're walking in it and they acknowledge it. and it's who they are. These particular men are out here saying he gay, period. Ain't nothing to it. That and you know, they're talking about they don't see it. They're talking about, you know, oh no, he not, and what. That's more of their shame. That's more of them not wanting to come and be real with themselves and acknowledge their own feelings or whatever. It's a hiding. They're all hiding. They're all liars out here who are doing that. But the ones, I mean, you know, the ones who are out here who have acknowledged it, who live in it, and whatever, whether by choice or whatever, they are out here saying it and exposing. And we women, we know femininity, we know that. We know that there's always have been a huge competition between gay men and real women. We know. We know. And so this is what we see. And you have grown men now in grown men bodies struggling with little boy issues that they were never able to get over. They are angry at moms and grandmothers and women who did not protect them, who did not listen to them, and maybe who allowed, and maybe some even who knew that these men were hurting and abusing their sons. And now you got a whole generation out here of hurt little boys in grown men bodies who are going back and forth with women and beefing with women and all this, and they mad at their mamas. And I'm not saying that to be angry. I'm not saying that to be hurtful or to be disrespectful or any of that. I'm saying it because it's true. And it's also a reflection on we women, because we women did a whole lot of, a few years ago, when this stuff was kind of coming out and all this stuff, you know, a lot of us women took that on, and we fought for gay rights, and we fought for gays, and we don't you say nothing about them, and we protect them, and so what if they are, and blah blah blah. And now here we are, because we accepted that and we allowed that and we protected that, you know, thinking that we were doing the right thing because we're protecting our sons and our whoever else we love, our brothers or whatever. And I get it at one point because it's in everybody's family. It's in my family. So I get it. But at the same time, now you have a generation where all of this stuff was out and open and being accepted, and women were fighting for it. Now you got a whole generation of men who are hurt and angry because of stuff that went on. And this is the fruit of what we accepted. This is the fruit of what we women accepted and what we fought for. Because I remember years ago when there were men who were out trying to fight against it, talk about it, whatever. And, you know, a lot of times we would say, oh, but you so against gays. That's because you got them tendencies. That's because you want them too. And that's because whatever. Maybe some of it was. But it was also real men out here trying to let you know this finna be a problem. Like, this is not cool to keep sheltering them, protecting them, accepting this, saying it's okay or whatever. And now, like I'm saying, now we see the fruit of this. We got a whole bunch of, and I'm not saying hate them. I'm not saying at all hate them. But I'm also saying you got to encourage your sons and men in your life to love women, protect women. You got to be good to them. You have to, if you know and you see these things going on, don't let homosexual, you know, your brother got gay tendencies, and you know the uncle you've heard stuff about him messing with little boys and girls in the family. You've always heard this. Don't let them be around them. Keep them, protect them. Always, you know, when the way I protected, the way that and I'm sorry about the camera shaking. I got that expensive equipment. The way that I always did it with, I have a son and a daughter, is that I didn't give nobody the benefit of the doubt. I didn't give anybody. I'm like, don't sit on Uncle Nobody lap. Little girls, no, you ain't dancing for nobody at no party. You ain't, no, don't let Uncle so and so see you do the latest dance. All of this stuff was back then when they were doing that kind of mess, and they knew, and they didn't tell, and they didn't talk, and they hid, and they protected them. And we black women have done so much protecting of wrongdoing, and we need to repent somehow, because we got to raise another generation of good, strong black men who have work ethic, who we ain't sitting around, oh, he's so cute, and oh, girl, my son just so cute, and blah, blah, blah. We got to stop it. We got to let these little boys grow up to be men, get their hands dirty, become mechanics and plumbers and truck drivers, and give them hard skills and labor and things like that, so they can have a sense of purpose. Begin to teach them. After what we see here, do we really want another generation of this? Like, we have to teach our little boys to love and love their women, protect their women. It ain't necessarily that we gotta, I hear women talking about, oh, kill your little boys and all that. It's not what you have to do. You gotta teach them. And it's gonna be a slow process. It's going to be, there's gonna be wheat growing up with the tares. That's what's going on right now spiritually. You got wheat growing up with the tares. And this is what we're seeing. And there are men out there who are real men who are out there doing it. And they do protect. They're just so far and in between, because I look at the men in my family, and that's really actually how all of this started with me. I started thinking about the men in my family. I started actually thinking about the denomination that I grew up in and how it was. And then I started thinking about the men in my family who, all go to the church and still do and everything. And I'm not promoting Christianity. I'm not, but maybe I'll get on here a little bit later and kind of talk a little bit about that, because, I have gotten back a little bit to my roots, for a reason. But really for such a time as this, honestly. But anyway, that we're not talking about me. I watch the men in my family, and I see a pattern of the real men and how they think, act, behave, things that they do. I've looked at all of them, and I've looked at the men with feminine, gay, and homosexual type tendencies in my family. Yes, there are some. Yes, I know. And they have the same type of behavior, the same type of things, drama always following them, trouble always following them. The spirits of perversions are very, they do all kinds of things. They do anything. They don't like women. They compete with women. They messy. They gossip. They all of this kind of stuff. And these are those with those type spirits. And this is the same stuff that we see out here on the internet. We see the same stuff. It's just not in our family. It's just not cousin so-and-so. It's somebody else cousin so-and-so. But it's happening. And they're angry, and they're struggling with themselves, and they're trying to still be men. They still have feelings for women, all of this. Some of them, many are bisexual, many are down low, but they are fighting with women because women didn't protect them. The mothers didn't protect them. The grandmother, the whoever that let drunk ass Uncle Joe come into the house and do, and the child may have told you. And you didn't hear it, or you ignored it, or you kept letting Uncle Joe come over, or you kept letting whatever happen, and they hate you for it. They hate you for it. They hate the way that they turned out. And this over masculinity, and this over male aggression, and that's the only way they know how to exert power is over women and all of that. It's hurt little boys. They're crying on the inside. They are damaged. They are crying. I don't know how to fix the problem, but I know that this next generation gonna have to be better. We're gonna have to get back, or get to. It's been a while since the black community has had any semblance of being good and right and on track. But we're going to have to teach our little boys to be men the best that we can. The daddies ain't there or whatever. We got to do the best we can. Best not to have them if you don't have to, because they still running out here reckless, not wearing condoms, acting like they don't know a penis and a vagina will make a baby. They act like they don't know that. So you're going to have to be the responsible one. You know, you got to plan your pregnancies and plan your life and know what you want to do, and then I might have a child or what have you. You know, but we can't just keep going out here reckless. We can't keep letting the black community go be like this and do these things, because it's crazy what's going on in these inner cities with all this violence and gun violence. It's absolutely ridiculous. I saw a video yesterday, and then I'm gonna stop. I saw a video yesterday of two black men caught just running in the street with guns, like two little boys playing cowboys and Indians, and they were running with guns on video from these I don't know where they were, and I don't really remember. I think it was in Chicago, so we know what's going on there, and many other major cities. But they were just running around, guns in the hand, chasing each other like little boys, shooting at each other, just being reckless. And this, they don't care, and they're mad and they're angry, and a whole bunch of it is ignorance, just ignorant as hell. And I say they need to do something. I say they need to manually get in, step in, bring in the trucks, bring in the military, and then they need to stop this, because you got too many casualties of war. You got too many children, too many women, too many good people, too many hardworking. I mean, and they just out here reckless. And black women need to quit marching and standing up and protecting these fools. Stop doing it. Let them get their karma. Let them get what's coming to them. Stop protecting them. Stop putting them in your house. The reason that there was a guy in New York, a group of men in New York who attacked a woman, beat her, but no reason, because she wouldn't talk to them. And this is a lot of what's going on out here now. Can't accept rejection. Got feminine spirits and all that. Nobody's ain't doing nothing, ain't working, whatever. But somebody's supposed to talk to you and give you the time of day and let you be in their life. And when they don't, they get mad, they get angry, they hit, they abuse, they fight. And in that case, when they found pretty much the ringleader of it, who did this to these women at this woman at this liquor store. I know y'all remember that story. This dude was caught because the police caught him because it was another domestic violence situation. So don't think he just out here hitting on one woman. He hitting on a whole bunch of them. But I can almost guarantee, I don't know for a fact, but I could almost guarantee the woman that got her behind beat was protecting him. She was hiding him, because they didn't come forth and just find them real quick. Another black woman was hiding them and harboring them, and we gotta stop it. We have to stop it. Okay, guys, I'm done. I gotta go to work. I will see you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, we'll see you next time.